to another weekly dose of inspiration to build a successful business. So if you normally watch my weekly videos, then you will notice that I have changed location. I am not in my cute little office that I'm normally in. I am actually over in California, which is lovely. And in this video, I really want to share with you what I learned from a mastermind that I recently went on in San Diego with Pat Flynn and Chris Ducker. So Pat Flynn is the founder of Smart Passive Income, an amazing website. He shares some really great stuff on how we can all build smart passive income. And Chris Ducker is the best-selling author of a book called Virtual Freedom, and he has got some great stuff as well online that he shares. So those are two people that I really admire, and I find myself feeling really inspired by them. So when I found out that they were hosting a mastermind in San Diego, I literally jumped at the chance. I was like, I am going to this. Because if there is something that I know, it's that when you can actually meet in person with people that you admire, people that are doing really successful things that you feel like you can learn a lot from them, it's such a good thing to just go and do it, because it can be so powerful. And I also knew that with this mastermind there was only going to be 20 people there, so I knew that every single one of us was going to get the opportunity to share our story, to share our challenges, and to get feedback from other people. And this is powerful because no matter how successful you are in business, no matter whether you have a really successful business or whether you are just starting out in business, we can all suffer from inside the jar syndrome. I just totally made this up. But I saw this quote and it said, you can't read the label from inside the jar. And it's so true. Sometimes we are in our businesses so much, we're running them, that we can't see opportunities or problems going on like outsiders can. The number of times where I have been sat on the best opportunity and I haven't seen it, and then someone said to me, Carrie, have you thought about doing this? And I'm like, oh, actually, no, I haven't. And they're like, it's so obvious, but I didn't see it. And there's been other times where I put things together and put things out there and it hasn't worked. I mean, I don't know if you've experienced this before, if you have put something out there and it hasn't worked, and then someone said to you, well, it's because it doesn't really make any sense. And all of a sudden you read over what you've written, you're like, oh yeah, it doesn't really make sense to anyone other than myself. Because sometimes we can be so in it, we just don't realise we need an outsider to say, to give us feedback, to give us help. And this is something we often forget to do. I mean, I am guilty of this. I am guilty of forgetting to ask other people for advice and feedback, because sometimes I think, no, I should just do it all myself. I can do it myself. And it's nonsense. We can't do it all ourselves, and we shouldn't do it all ourselves, because there's other people out there that can help us and other people that actually want to help us. So we should leverage this. So that's why I was really excited to go along to this mastermind day. So I want to share with you the biggest takeaway that I had from the day, and that was that we all need to be part of mastermind groups, virtual mastermind groups where we can get help and feedback from people on a really regular basis. So Pat Flynn, who was there, said that he is in 3 or 4 mastermind groups and that he chats with those people every single week. So and each group for an hour each. So that's 3 hours a week he's spending in mastermind groups, getting feedback from people, getting accountability by sharing what he wants to achieve that next week. And that is amazing. And I just thought, wow, that's like masterminding on another level. And I just didn't really quite realize that people do it. I mean, I have business friends that I chat with on a regular basis, but nothing as structured and as intense as being involved in 3 to 4 mastermind groups. I'm not saying that you should go and be involved in 3 to 4 mastermind groups, but we should all probably at least be involved in one mastermind group. One group where you meet up on a weekly basis virtually and discuss the challenges, the struggles, and the problems, and the amazing things that are going on in your business. So I want to share with you the 3 main things that Pat shared about how to create a really successful mastermind group. So the first thing he said was, make sure that your mastermind group is between 4 to 6 people maximum. You don't want any more than 6 people. So have a think now. Do you know of 4 or 5 people who would be amazing or who you'd love to have in your mastermind group? People who you think would really add value to the group, people who you connect and resonate with, people who you're like-minded with. So I think the biggest thing to bear in mind is that you want people that are going to add value. You want people who are going to give as much as they want to receive, people who genuinely want to be there to help each other. That's the most important thing in order to make it work. So have a think now of people that you would love to be in your mastermind group. The second thing to do is make sure you set up with those people to chat once a week. for an hour. I know this seems like quite a lot, but I think once you get into the groove of being in your mastermind, you will find it really, really beneficial. So during that hour, when you're on a Skype call, you're all going to get together, and for the first few minutes, just spend it sharing the wins that you've had over the past week. So successful things that have happened. Start it all off on a positive note, sharing great stuff. And then after that, there's going to be a 40-minute hot seat where one person's going to be in the hot seat. So obviously you're going to rotate this every week, and because there's only 4 to 6 people in the mastermind, it's going to get round to you quite frequently. So that person's going to share the struggles that they're going through, any challenges that they have, anything they need feedback on. So for example, if they're doing a project and they've just created a new landing page or a sales page, maybe they'll want you to all go and check it out and see what you think about it, see if you've got any advice or feedback. Because like I said, sometimes you can create a sales page and you think it's amazing and makes total sense, and someone else goes and reads it and thinks, oh, I don't actually understand this, or where's the buy button? That has actually happened to me before, where someone was like, the buy button just isn't obvious at all. I was like, oops. So someone's in the hot seat, and then at the end of the call, you're all going to share your goals for the next week to help hold each other accountable. And then the third thing Pat said to do is create a private Facebook group for your mastermind. So this is where you can all ask for help, ask for feedback, share maybe an article that might really help the others in the group outside of that Skype call. So this is where you can all communicate and connect throughout the week. So I thought this was a really great thing to do as well, just another way to help stay connected with one another and to help each other even more. So those were the 3 things that he said would help to create a really powerful mastermind group, and I think it's really great advice, and every single one of us can do it. So what I'm suggesting is that we all do it. We all make the effort and the time to get in mastermind groups that are going to help us to grow our businesses and be more successful. Because we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to figure everything out by ourselves, even though sometimes we feel like we do. I know I definitely sometimes think this, but we don't. We really don't. We can find other people that can help us. The other big lesson that I learned from being in the mastermind was how powerful being in a mastermind actually is. Being able to connect with people that you admire, people who you aspire to be like. Like for me, like Pat Flynn and Chris Ducker, I think they're both doing incredible things. And just being there and getting to meet them opened the doors to so many opportunities. For example, one guy ended up doing a deal with Chris Ducker so that Chris was going to test out his software, and really, let's be honest, if Chris thinks his software is amazing, he's going to tell his audience about it, which is a phenomenal opportunity for that guy. There was another guy who Pat Flynn was going to introduce to someone else he knows in his network to help him promote what he's doing. What a phenomenal opportunity. And then when I was speaking to Chris at dinner that evening, we got chatting about books and writing books, and he said he would introduce me to his literary agent, which is amazing. That would never have happened had I not been there, had I not met Chris Ducker. So that is the power of going on masterminds, because you get to connect and network with people that are doing incredible things. So that is powerful. I always think it's really good to set aside a budget for things like mastermind events, for events in general and networking events, and for taking advantage of people's courses that they've created, being involved in communities, whether it's online or offline. These are all really powerful things that can help us to grow our businesses far faster than if we just sit by ourselves trying to figure everything out on our own, which is just hard and frustrating and lonely. It doesn't need to be that way. So set aside a budget and get involved in those types of things. I honestly think you'll see growth so much faster if you do that. And just out of curiosity, if we at the Female Entrepreneur Association put together a mastermind day, or if we somehow help you to get into smaller mastermind groups virtually, would this be of interest to you? I'm just really curious to know whether it's something that we should maybe make the time to do. I've put a little form on the blog post that this is attached to, so if you get a chance or if you're interested in it, then please click onto it and leave a comment and let us know what you think. I just want to know whether it's something we should make the time and effort to put together, whether it would be really helpful to people. So definitely let me know. But I really hope that you've enjoyed me sharing my experience with you of being on the mastermind, and also I hope it's inspired you to be involved in a mastermind, to make the time and effort to find other people that you can mastermind with, because I'm telling you, it's so powerful and every single one of us should be doing it. So if you're not doing it, then start doing it, because it'll help so much. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, then leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you next week for another dose of inspiration.